Forza. Or am I just pretty much mistaken in this case?
Well, I don't have as much foresight as I used to when it comes to like predetermining what the drafts are, because there's so much versatility in the drafting phase alone. So they're trying to just take out the strong picks as of now. And remember, this is a lot of it is being targeted on the people who play these heroes. You know, Pokemon on the Khalid, Souls, Yuzong, and getting rid of these big playmakers who have consistently been working out for the side of EVOS SG. It just makes sense.
Dude, I'm actually really concerned right now, right? Because Barat has not been up to ban yet.
No, they're leaving it. EVOS has to make that decision, and that's why blue side has that advantage. You're forcing your opponents on red side. It's either red side opens everything up, or they have to take it away.
It's pretty much the dynamics of the drafting phase as well. So, oh man, no, I'm just trying to figure out here, right? Okay, if they don't ban, okay, if they
left Barat open.
If they leave Barat open and Resurgers were to have an opportunity to take it or not, do they want to prioritize the Barat or not? Does it fit their playstyle? We know it fits EVOS SG because Pokemon does a really fantastic job with the Barat, but does it work the same case for Resurgers here?
Well, it depends whether Resurgers actually had a predetermined plan or not of what they wanted their draft to be. Like, were they expecting a Barat to go through? And if they pick up Barat, what are they losing in return? Because again, 2 picks are coming in from red side the moment Barat gets locked in. And what could you potentially pick up? You could potentially pick up a carry, someone who's like, I don't care how much health you have, the more health the better.
Ooh, but either way, still not gonna take the risk, and also fully understanding the might of this beast here for themselves. They're gonna lock it down here, and that's gonna be Barat. Now EVOS SG, but then again, they are up to pick up any playmakers which they are able to offer themselves here, like Esmeraldas, Cho, Uranus. They're all pretty much really great picks here, and as we know as well, very scary when they play the Esmeralda.
Yeah, extremely scary. It's one of those things where if you have a lot of shields in your composition, and you'll notice like, oh, I'm dying pretty fast, I wonder why. It's most likely Esmeralda just stealing it away. It almost feels unimpactful, but when she is absorbing your shields and realizing that I can't necessarily kill this girl, that's when it becomes a significant problem, and in most times, it's way too late. Yep, there we go, Esmeralda, as well as the Jawhead. I like both.
KZP, I'm already dancing, boy. Like, I just love it when KZP plays the Jawhead, because remember, just locking down the Jawhead alone, right? Not only are you able to deny, wait, what? Oh no.
No, I'm just gonna let that sit for a while. Just wait for it.
Okay, so sorry, it's not KZP. Sorry.
And I'm the dyslexic one here. Hey.
No.
Don't worry.
I got too hyped for it.
You got wait. You saw the hero and you were just thinking about it like 24/7. You like hyper focused on it. Like, yo, it has to be KZP playing Jawhead. I can't see anybody else playing it.
I mean, I'm just a big fan. No, seriously, I'm a big fan. But then again, yes, just picking the Jawhead alone just allows you to deny that blue how many times just with the ejector alone. It's gonna be a huge nuisance, especially since they already know that LY4 will be locking that Yisushin for himself since Roger has already been banned away.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree with you. I totally agree. But I love the flex picks coming in from both sides. Things that kind of fulfill multiple roles here. Like Harith is a great example because he is your secondary. He can technically play as your support. He isn't the most effective at it. However, he scales so well into the game that it almost doesn't matter. And the fact that they have Esmeralda as well is like, what other options does RSG have to go for? They have to take the physical damage. They're taking the Yishin Shin. They're making sure that their offlaners are strong as well. One of the strongest duelists by far, Thamus, is here because, once again, we don't have access to Khalid or the Yuzong.
I mean, definitely, they have to make an option, but whether it fits the comp or not, we'll just have to see. But anyway, in this case, we're going to be moving towards the second ban phase here, and both teams instantly getting rid of the mage carries here, both winning the Veil and Valero for good reason as well, because both of these heroes, they need not only control, but a huge amount of team fights nukes here. Yeah,
I think Veil is actually a pretty good ban. I mean, we do know Jason does pick it up once in a while, but the fact that it's area denial and area control, especially with the lineup that EVOS has right now, where they kind of want to group them up into one place to allow Esmeralda to get on multiple targets, and the AoE coming in from a lot of their from Harith himself. Wow, I totally forgot Harith's name for a second there. I was about to call him a white rat.
A white rat.
Yeah, no, legit. I thought it was like, oh, what's that white rat again?
Actually, honestly, is he a fox or a raccoon in this?
He's definitely a fox, right? Right?
Comment down in the comment section below if you think it's a fox or not. But
hey, joke's on you, Harith's just a weeb.
But anyway, the last ban will be taken away. It's going to be the Chang, and I think it's a really great one as well. Although yes, Jason could have tried to opt it for himself, but there is still the existence of the Esmeralda. So getting rid of the shield will be quite a nuisance, but there's still the nukes and the wave clear, which both teams are really trying to opt to go for here.
I mean, are they even considering whether they want to go low Yi at this point? Because I mean, they've taken out like a good chunk of the carry type,
Yes.
of a hyper, super bursty type mages. So now they're going to be reverting to something like the Kagura, things like that forces you to get the shield. The Kadita as well as the Veil doesn't necessarily want to go in close, and Kadita is hard to catch. So even though Esmeralda can jump on top of her, she just waves away, doesn't really care about it. Chang'e on the other side, all right, sure, but do they necessarily want to give it over to EVOS SG considering their lineup? Because again, she doesn't necessarily have the CC like a Eudora. Veil, what's that?
Eudora? Aurora?
I was thinking of Aurora. Yeah, Aurora has the stun, but not as reliable as the Eudora. You see why I was getting the mix up there?
No, okay, so we're both pretty much even here, right?
Okay, all right, fair enough, fair enough.
No, so the thing is just like, the reason why I was like just pointing out Chang'e in particular is because in this case it's just wave clears, right? I wouldn't say the usage and the rest of the team doesn't really have, they do not have wave clears. It's just that it's not as clean or as quick compared to like Far South, Lair, or even Veil. So anyway, both locking down both the Lunox and the Box here as well. That's a lot of meat bags to really go through here, seriously.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that they actually wanted, because this would have been a pretty decent composition if they wanted to go to something like Atlas, but I guess they are that afraid of, Atlas just having such a weak early game that they can take full. No, don't. Stop it. Stop it. It's dead. That video has been, that video was like how many months ago? Ages ago. It was like, what? 5, 6 months ago?
5 months ago. 5 months.
5 months ago at this point in time. Let it die.
Nope.
Let it die.
KCP never dies.
Oh, that's about to change once this game starts. But yeah, looking at both compositions, it's pretty even and both has some form of counterplay. But what is that last pick? Soul, give it to us. All right. All right. It makes sense. If one Jawhead wasn't enough, bring in 2.
Yes, baby. We're going in.
We are going in here. Double Jawhead composition.
Double ejectors, baby.
Oh, boy.
No, this is the strat. They're going to keep throwing them all the way back to the fountain.
They're gonna oh, that would no, I honestly want to see an all for nothing where it's just like five Jawheads, each one ejecting the other teammate over to kind of like play hopscotch until they get to the enemy, and then all of them just unstoppable forces on one fool. Ooh, that would be brutal. But it's time to get into this game here. Resurgence versus EVOS SG. One opportunity to settle the score before they retire.
I mean, definitely for sure. But at the same time, what do you guys think for their last week for themselves here? Before we jump into the mix, but either way, before Gideon, hold that answer of yours, because right now, looking at a beautiful view of the graphics of the Land of the Dawn, we're about to see the biggest fight of today, of day number 1 of the playoffs.
Looks like they locked in Xborg for the side of EVOS. I kind of like it, because at least you have some form of counterplay, especially if you're pairing up against the Baron lane, or even arguably the Thamus lane. So let's see how this plays out. Once again, EVOS going to be looking to start things off strong.
Strong indeed, and look at the bottom lane as well. Xborg, our dear friend Pokemon, definitely not going to be having the tough time. Same goes for the top lane as well as Soul playing with the Esmeralda. And as it is already, like we were saying, that early game for the Esmeralda is not really as fun compared to the mid game, and the fact that she's already dealing against both huge amount of damage, by the way, and with the box here as well, definitely not a fun lane for Soul.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is some great understanding of the matchup coming in from both Sana and Soul. Like I mean, these guys are pure offlaners. They don't usually play other things here. Pokemon, he doesn't mind going in and out of the damage, but he's got to be very consistent with it. And that's kind of the issue here, because you are limited by your range when you have the Firaga armor, putting you in very tight spots, and sometimes even gankable spots.
Definitely for sure. And I just love the fact that the amount of pressure that RSG is just constantly applying just to ensure that LY4 is going to be able to have a really clean and safe farm. But Soul is going to be able to hit that level 3 and will be able to sustain a little bit of that damage coming out from Sana.
Yeah, and I think right now, Resurgence is trying to min-max as much as they can, sending a lot of solo laners here. LY4, he's in a lot of trouble trying to get on the Harith. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
They didn't even need the Zaman Force there. The damage coming out of JPL with that ejector, well played.
Really, really well played stuff as well. And the best was, as best as well, great assumption expectation too when they saw that the blue was still standing as well. There's only one option where LY4 actually was going to opt to go for another camp. But anyway, KZP definitely not having the time as well. JP is going to be able to eject him, but not all the way to the back line because he knows that he doesn't want to have a boxer towards that back line for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel that backline box here would have been nice.
I guess
because then they would be super overextended there. I mean, it's hard to control it. I'm not gonna deny that. It is hard to target at the same time as making sure that you're getting the right target when you're that close to somebody. And unfortunately, in that situation, he just got launched up in the air and way back down. He didn't get flicked back in towards the towers, their red side of the map. And I think with the extra distance, they might have forced the disengage.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But at the same time, they also take it. Ooh, hey, on play with it. Literally on a tightrope there between life and death there. But yes, maybe the fact that they didn't really eject KCP all the way to the back line because they just know that the fact that Boxer still has that revitalization, so still going to be able to sustain, still going to be able to combat a little bit longer. Remember, they don't really have their ultimates except for the Harry here with the Diamond Force.
Yep, they're making sure their timings of the objectives, of these neutral objectives are on point here. Right now, RSG is trying to take the turtle by themselves, but they're forced to they have to let it go. There's just too many members of EVOS just running down towards this side. It's going to be a 4v5, and that's not exactly the best odds, but if they just buy time, this is going to allow Sana in the top side to start stealing away, resources from EVOS SG.
Definitely for sure, but Pokemon's got to be a little bit careful there because he's a little bit too close to Sing who has quite the amount of stacks on top of it as well. But Soul doing significant amount of damage towards Sana. Sana really popping out that ultimate as well just to try to force her back, and eventually Soul will just have no choice but to let Sana go.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's unfortunate because Sana was trying to take away the red buff. I thought he had it, but Soul managed to steal away. But Jason, he gets ejected over. JPL now out of position. They're forcing a full-on fight. Ultimate putting it to Sing, but that Revitalize is keeping up so healthy. Harith, even with the Diamond Force, ain't gonna be enough, so Pokemon takes him out with that last insanity. JPL flickering forward, finally getting KZP. That's gonna be 2 kills for nothing in favor of EVOS SG.
This is really great what EVOS SG is actually really trying to go for, right? Try to get as many early game fights as fast as possible. Get that early game dominance, because once that early to mid game transition happens, then they will have such a lead, even regardless of having the fact that Bharat is still on the side of Resurgence, because they still have enough damage, they have all the items to melt down even a beefy monster like Bharat.
Yeah, and this is so far so good of a start for EVOS SG. However, it's pretty even, I would say so at the very least. Darkening coming out from Jason here as KZP starts rolling forward, gets one, Sink's in trouble, he goes down, he can't go any further. Potato still alive, but KZP is able to reclaim that kill. A 1-for-1 trade, not the best considering that EVOS had the numbers advantage and first initiative, but Resurgence, they aren't letting this game go without a fight.
I mean, definitely for sure. Everyone is trying to go for trade-offs here. And this is the part where EVOS has to remind themselves of the fact that despite us having, beautiful ejector with the Ensemble Force as well, KZP is going to be doing quite a amount of damage, but sadly the tower will not target KZP one last time, allowing KZP to walk out of that situation alive.
Yeah, and as of right now, Sana is doing a pretty good job. He's still pretty healthy, and he's also creating a lot of space for LY4 to kind of just farm safely. He is sacrificing lane wave, gold, and EXP such that LY4 can come back, at least minimize his initial death. Because Potato is level 8 to LY4 is level 7 as of right now. Potato now taking some damage here, but, Sink taking some damage from Pokemon, but the rest of the team just hovering around this blue buff. They're just waiting for an opportunity. Unstoppable Force again onto KZP, Revitalize being popped. Sink can't get into the fight quick enough to get that initial catch with the ult.
It's really difficult as well because, like I was mentioning earlier as well, like Bharat, yes, all you can do is just pretty much get away from him. He's not very mobile. It's really hard for him to really get on top of all these agile mobile heroes here. So EVOS actually really keeping that distance, picking their fights really methodically as well, really being really calculative about it, but with that calculation alone really gives them quite the lead and that dominance so far.
Yeah, and more importantly, I think Sing was still, when he was walking up to join the fight, he still had 2 seconds left on cooldown for his flicker, so even if he wanted to make a play, he didn't even have the tools.
Yeah. By the way, Pokemon finally getting that immortality, which is going to be really crucial for the side of the team here. This allows EVOS SG to be a little bit more aggressive should the fight really count, because right now we see Resurgence slowly retaliating, especially towards his top side.
Yep, they're just playing the map. Once again, it's going to be KZP getting ejected here, but Turtle has been slain, and now they are on the run. Potato already popping up his ult, but the backline is gone. He is gone once again. Pokemon, huge last insanity, chucking out all 3 members coming in for Resurgence, trading 1 for 1. This fight is even. Jason survives with 1 health. Sink, can he pick up that kill on and break that immortality? Yes, he does. He still has his ult, but again, he doesn't have nearly enough damage. That fight was a lot more even. However, the one difference was made when Resurgence set up bot wave better than EVOS SG.
Yes, definitely for sure. Right now, Resurgence currently in the lead based on just towers alone, but of course the goal lead is still in the favor of EVOS SG, but by a significant or very small difference here. But it will be significant very soon, depending on which team will be taking that aggressive initiative first. And let's be honest, Sing is doing what he really does best, and it's a split push towards that bottom lane.
Yeah, right now Resurgence knows for a fact that they can't win these full hard-on team fights, especially when one of their members gets picked off. The speed of which EVOS has their burst is way too high. Resurgence now understand that and are playing the map perfectly here, trying to take these smaller objectives along the side to kind of buy some time for the big guns, LY4 as well as Jason, to make something happen. Once again, KZP is going to get ejected right back into the team. Pokemon is going straight on. Revitalize is not going to protect you from a last insanity. The burst is too good. They find the pick onto Eudora here, onto Potato here, and now the full fight breaks out. All hell breaks loose. Zaman Force is unstoppable as LY4 has lost his front line, and now this is going to be a fight going over to EVOS SG without a doubt.
But then again, Potato wants to try to clear this and push out this bottom lane to at least open things up and allow the entire team to try to push them down. But Pokemon try to go for the bait, will be able to cancel out the TP as well. Sing has to be really careful about it, but Sally will be able to allow Pokemon to get the mega kill and potentially will even lock down this bottom tier 1 tower.
Oh, that was huge. That was huge. And now Potato, he's got the magic damage as well, so he will be able to shred right through that turret just purely with the Chrono Dash.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you were asking me, like, what can he do against the Barrage, right? Just leave. I said, leave him alone. Just go to the back line. That's pretty much what they did. They did, yes, significant amount of damage with Sing, but they straight away turned their priorities towards that back line, and instantly Resurgence losing 4 members. They instantly lost everything else, and Sing, he can't do anything alone. He's not that big just yet.
Yeah, but Soul, on the other hand, he is getting bigger by the second.
Oh, yeah.
He has not had a single death in this game, just like Pokemon, and both of them are being the forerunner, saving a lot of these situations when they start these fights against Resurgence. And now Resurgence on the back foot. They want to fight, but also they have to be extremely careful because the team fight isn't as good. The Brilliance is going to be popped up by Lunox here. Jason slowly going to peel backwards. No darkening just yet. He needs to get the bar into the dark zone. His rest of Soul as well as Sink just, touching tips at this point in time. None of them doing any significant damage to each other.
Yes, but LY4 doing a really great job as well, seeing the fact that his teams will not die easily to the full brunt of EVOS SG. Will split push towards this bottom lane and will safely secure that tier 2 tower.
They're playing the map well. Resurgence, how long can they keep this up? JPL is going to be the first to get caught here. Smart Missiles coming out as well. Soul, he's hovering around, but they are coming in from a flank angle here. Falling Star Moon isn't going to land, and now they're on the run. 4 versus 5. Pokemon coming in with the last insanity. Can they turn this around? Flickers forward, chunks the backline. KZP is on the run, but Sinky's still alive, trying to make it on out of there. They can't seem to get the damage on the right targets here, as KZP still on the run as Potato and Aeon, even though they were able to get their damage out, it just didn't matter. JPL, is he gonna get caught off there? Yes, he does. Unstoppable Force ain't gonna stop him. The backline now in trouble as Potato once again has the Zaman Force. Misses the last one. We're able to cave with the Chrono Fissure once more. 2 go down. 2 for 1. KZP on the run as Aeon last hit dies over to the darkening. This fight isn't stopping just yet. 2 for 3 in favor of Resurgence. Finally, they back away.
Really well placed up as well, but then again, the fight is not over this as the Mountain Shock is going to be coming in as well. KZP nowhere to run at all once he gets slowed down, and with the Zaman Force and the Chrono Dashes, Potato is going to be able to secure another kill for himself. But I'm gonna call it right here, right now. Sing did a phenomenal job just peeling that fight alone. I'm not even kidding.
Yep.
Like he committed, like he could have used his flicker to go towards his backline just to get on top of Potato, but no. He saw Soul on top of LY4, and LY4 not having the best of time either. Everyone, that communication was so clean, they all just reverted back, dropped everything what they were doing. They're like, LY4 has to stay alive. He has to live.
Yep. I mean, they use everything, every trick in the book to get out of that. I mean, Aeon, his job is pretty easy, but if he's caught out of position, he will die to Sana alone if he doesn't have a stun up to kind of buy him that time. And LY4, he played that well. He kept on cutting backwards, kept hitting the targets in front of him, kept up with the kites, and it just helps so much that his entire team just peeled for him. Jason obviously can handle himself with the brilliance. It's a get out of jail card for free. But now EVOS on the attack once more. KZP once again trying to make sure that he is disrupting JPL as much as possible. As long as their front line doesn't get dispositioned in a place where they can get bursted. Just like that. EVOS, they were going for it the entire time, but this time it's going to be Soul who falls victim to the same strategy.
Oh, dude, it's really hard because right now Resurgence just decided to just group up right now in this case. And LY4, yes, he is still farming, but he's very adapted to it. He's like, he knows when to farm and knows when to join the rest of the fight with his team as well. And it's put EVOS actually into the pinch as well because they can't simply jump in, especially since Sig is full mode just protecting LY4. He's even just right next to him as well. He's like, you want my brother, you gotta get through me.
Yeah, this is a tough stalemate from both sides. I think EVOS has also kind of realized that if they don't pick the right place at the right time, that Resurgence have learned from their previous mistakes that they were just at the wrong place in the wrong time, so they have to control the variables as much as they can.
And especially as well, like, yes, although Potato will be already hit the level 15 before LY4, but LY4 is not far behind. He's actually very close. And once he gets even more items, it's going to be really difficult for them to actually not just to pick him off, but he's going to go. Well, not only they will not able to sustain the amount of damage he's actually going to be bringing out.
Yeah, and now look at this. Soul is getting absolutely destroyed. Jason is huge in this game on this Lunox. It doesn't even matter how many shields she had. Soul just disappeared, and now KZP going in full-fledged. Even Jason with the darkening as well, trying to push them out of position. JPL, is he going to go for the ejector? Not this time. He's going pretty deep. Pokemon Last Insanity finds the first one, but he comes back with the immortality. He hops over the wall, and it looks like it's good for the side of Resurgence.
And don't forget, they easily had the back out as well. They can't be too greedy too, because the minute they saw Sing popping up, and let's be honest, Sing has a lot of stacks on it. This big boy is ready to go. But at the same time, EVOS SG did a really great job forcing that top lane to be pushed in. They instantly have to fall back. But Pokemon, on the other hand, he has an immortality, but instantly get burst down, and I don't think he's going to be able to live long enough to see the day.
Oh no, it's not going to be enough. Aeon, that's so dirty. He didn't want to miss, so he flickers forward, but the rest of the EVOS team is here to try and win this fight. The backline now in trouble. LY4 getting a good snipe into that backline, ensuring that Aeon, the squishiest member amongst them, goes down first. Even with the Zabin Force, Potato can only do so much, but he turns it around, tries to get on top, but he's getting suppressed as well. KZP gets knocked up. It's not going to be enough. LY4, he's got a complete shooting ground here. They can't stop him. They can't get off of him. Once more, he gets suppressed. Nothing Soul can do. KZP going in for the dive, and finally the Molten Size, a clean ace coming in for Resurgence.
Oh, dude, well played. Seriously, just well freaking played coming in for the team. Just constantly peeling, holding, tanking, and ensuring that LY4, this boy, this brother of theirs, will be able to just casually lean back and just slice and dice all the way.
Oh my goodness, this level of team fighting capabilities from both of these sides, nobody is letting the other make a single mistake. They will hold their ultimates until they absolutely need it if they have to. Like, the amount of patience it must have taken for Sync to hold that ult to make sure that they get the right targets, just well done.
Well, and also don't forget about his flicker as well. Like, he only uses it either unless he knows he can get towards that back line, or just to ensure they can get on top of LY4 just to defend him, because literally all EVOS has to do right now is just shut LY4 down and then peel the rest of the teams here. By the way, JP is going to be able to find Sana, ejects him all the way to the back line, but Aeon gets caught by KZP, instantly gets nuked down, and that's going to be a monster kill for our dear friend LY4. Lord is pushing in, they don't have Aeon, but here comes the Detona, Vulcan, and throwing them all the way to the back line. Is literally anarchy right now. It's Potato trying to spread, pops down to Summer Force, dashes his back and forth, but this is LY4 we're talking about, and Jason just constantly nuking down with the Chaos Assault, and 2 members will fall, but so goes the top tier 2 tower as well.
And this is good. Resurgence knows they have a significant, well, not even the biggest of leads compared to what we've seen them do before, but just enough to ensure that they can win these team fights underneath inhibitor towers, and that in itself, it's 15 to 15, 17 minutes into the game, 6k goal difference. They are on the run. Pokemon going in, try and clear the wave as quick as he can.
Oh no!
Oh no! Daytona, welcome! Oh, it didn't go all the way through. Oh boy!
That was a really close call. Seriously, if Potato, sorry, not Potato, if Pokemon actually got caught in front of Daytona's welcome, there is no one that's going to be able to stop this onslaught. Although yes, Aeon can do quite an amount of damage, but Sing is a really big boy. And let's be honest, LY4 is hitting more than a truck in this case.
Yeah, he really is. Just the AoE damage coming in from Sing alone as well. Like if they're clumped up too close, like it will start to show. That damage will start to stack up really, really high. And as of right now, I can't tell what they can actually do for the side of EVOS SG to start winning these fights. I think they really have to push Sing out of position, but Sing, he's already flickering forward, looking for the Daytona.
No, he got him!
He got him! He got the right target! Aeon, once again, can't play this game without somebody telling him otherwise. Potato, the next to fall to the darkening. Once again, Jason, so healthy. LY4, so healthy. He doesn't even care. Ejector me, unstoppable force. That ain't gonna stop me once again. Pokemon losing his Firaga armor, and Soul, he's on the run. He knows he can't do any more than this.
Oh, dude, like, how was that even possible? He got him, like, got Aeon all the way from the back line. But anyway, this is going to be the one final push. KTB so low, but they don't care. They don't want to kill. They just want to hit this throne. But then again, beautiful play coming from Pokemon, able to clear out that minion wave. But Soul, trying his best, will be able to get out alive. And with the fire state, he's going to be able to scorch and burn Sana a little bit more. But here comes the Mountain Stronger just to give a little bit more information towards his team.
Yep, and once again, the cavalry has finally started spawning in and are running it down towards the mid lane to protect their last few inhibitors here. That was a huge blow for them, but at the very least, EVOS, they have the goal to start coming back into it.
Right.
At this point, you are playing on situational items. Everybody has their natural core items. They are at maximum level. It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And right now, EVOS SG, I feel like the only thing they can actually just do right now is just avoid these team fights, or especially just get away from Sing in this case, because he's he's literally too big for them to handle right now. They need to go for pickoffs. They need to try to pick off as many members as possible, try to even the odds and get more and assert more dominance as to get this control.
Yeah, speaking of asserting dominance here, Sing unfazed by what Soul can do. He is literally walking back and forth. He doesn't mind. He's got the health, and that's what EVOS can't seem to deal with right now. The amount of, even with true damage onto Sing, it feels like you're not really hurting him as much as you should.
I mean, let's be honest, like, who wants to be a dancing queen when you can ride on top of the back of a dragon, right?
That's a good point. That is a very good point.
But anyway, KTB doing his job, doing what he does best, constantly zoning around, giving information towards his team. And now Sing with the Oracle going to be regenerating even more. Oh my lord.
Yeah, this is now becoming a much more stale game here, as both sides at a point now they can't even consider item advantage to even be much of an advantage this time, because they all have full items. So there isn't much to be said, and they just have to maneuver these fights, making sure that they hit the most efficient ability here. Oh, wow.
My lord. He actually canceled it out.
Good cancel, but so far, it's a 2v3 situation, and right now, Jason is going to be down. Aeon finally getting his stun on the right targets, but he is under a lot of fire from Sing, who is just trampling on top of him here. KZP trying to pull them through. Revitalize. They're going to lose this. They're going to lose this. Harith is going to have to pump this out and force to try and turn this around. They finally take out Sing this time around. JPL, the next to go, but that means 3 members die for an opportunity for Resurgence to try and take Luminous Lord away, and they realize it isn't worth it anymore.
Dude, this is really great. Now pick up not just the tanker, but majority of the members of Resurgence as well. They can actually not only get this, like you said, getting this Lord, or they can actually just try to assert even more dominance. A lot of minions is being pushed on towards the mid lane. The top is also being pushed down. Sadly, the bottom, because the minions will be more significantly better because since they lost the inhibitor. But that doesn't matter. All they need to do is get this Luminous Lord, and JPL is just doing just that. Try to zone as many members as much as possible, or maybe they should just try to divert their attention. And instantly, that's what they did. They changed their priorities. Lord's gonna be knocking it out. Sana trying to do as much damage as possible. LY4 instantly gets jumped on for the falling Starman from Soul. Instantly gets surrounded, but he's still able to get the crit off and picked off Soul.
This is worth it. This was worth it. LY4 dying there, able to trade 1-for-1 and denying Lord is a huge win for RSG. That was a 2v3 situation. They shouldn't have technically won that at all. And you can see that Aeon, he had to go and clear the waves up on top side. So as long as they keep delaying this with an open inhibitor for the side of EVOS SG, the longer it takes, the more likely that they will start have bigger creep waves moving in from that bottom side.
But they're going to be careful as well. LY4 is going to be coming out in exactly 20 seconds, and that's pretty much how long they can actually buy for themselves. Seeing thrown right into the mid as well, getting melted down instantly to revitalize. It's barely keeping it as well, but with the top for the corner dash, he's going to be able to get picked off. But we're talking about Jason here with the Darkening, instantly nukes down the majority of the members of EVOS SG, and now they're currently on the run. Pokemon gets popped up there. He still has the immortality, but he will eventually try to get away, and same goes for his teammate JPL.
Yeah, as long as Jason is alive, the team has a great opportunity, and especially with a secondary win condition, it becomes so much more difficult for EVOS to play this game because they're expecting Soul to survive all that damage. However, you can't necessarily itemize effectively, especially with the amount of high magic penetration coming in from...
no,
no, for the steal! Can he go for it? Can he get the steal? No! Retribution is going to come into play. Soul is on the run now, but he is going to be giving up his life for nothing this time round. Holy Crystal being bought by Jason. JPL just left to defend. All 4 members from EVOS SG going to be coming back up. This is their final push coming in from RSG. Can EVOS SG defend?
Oh, this is going to be a really tough one as well. So this is going to be the Luminous Lord sent towards the bot lane. Now this is going to be pressuring EVOS so hard as well, because remember, the Crystal is not really that healthy. I'm pretty sure it's just 1 or 2 hits from the Lord away from this befalling here away from this team in this first game. But remember, sadly, unfortunately, I know Soul, he was trying to be the big man here, tried to be the team player and try to steal the Lord, but stealing the Lord without the Retribution and without the following Starman is definitely a really hard take to go for.
Yep, now that Lord has been crashing in, Luminous Lord, but if any, he is going to be cutting through. The fight has begun. Aeon's now in trouble. Is he going to get stunned up? Yes, he does, but they're going straight for the Crystal.
Woo!
Good end game coming in from RSG, but this is only the first in this best. Just, it's got to go.
No,
and
but
Jason is proficient, and it's even more reason to.
Yeah, I know, but now here comes the real question. Do you hate Farsa as much as you hate the Barat?
Like Farsa isn't one of those things that you're going to be looking to first pick when you have Bara on the table, when you have like arguably even Harith on the table as well to ensure scaling and Khalid. So that's why it's more powerful on the red side of the red side of the draft. EVOS starting it off with JPL's Jawhead.
Going to be really great stuff as well as JPL. Not to say he wasn't really a great initiative. He actually pulled off a couple of amazing ejector, by the way, during an early game stage. But in this case, right now what EVOS actually says they're going to go with the Jawhead, they need to pick another hero that's able to follow up with that kind of aggression, another playmaking hero or another engaging one. If I'm not, I wouldn't be surprised if Soul actually picks up his own personal Cho here.
That is a possibility. Oh, wait a minute. It looks like they're putting in Fossa this time around.
Actually, it's going to be swapped out. I love the fact that they're playing, not to say playing around, it's more like playing around their plays and giving a little bit of break. Or maybe in this case, LY4 is literally going to lie down his bed.
I need to get my buff inactive. Hold on. let me just tuck myself in. That's when the buff really sets in.
It's like the semi buff, the semi bit buff is like it ran out, right? It's like
it's not enough.
The effect ran out. I need to go recharge again. Tell me if that's a game 3.
But I do hope that he's absolutely all right. We may be joking about him going to his bed, but I do hope that he's actually all right, not facing like an emergency or anything.
I know, definitely for sure. I mean, definitely LY4. I hope you're drinking a lot of water here. But then again, this opened things up for them as they were able to lock up both Esmeralda and Uranus. Both heroes really annoying to deal with here. But remember, with Forza inside the game as well. Remember, Forza doesn't necessarily have to play marksman, or he plays a mean assassin too. So the fact that EVOS is going to be locking down the Yi Sushin, they also need to take into account as well that the fact that the potential link could be picked up on the side here of Resurgence.
Yeah, but now, I mean, just look at the kind of the shift in tempo in terms, not even shift in tempo, but the shift of personalities coming in from both EVOS and Resurgence, where Resurgence looking to kind of play the slower game in comparison to EVOS, who are taking away the picks. The LY4, initially, you know, LY4's a Yi Shin is completely off the table.
Ooh.
They also took the Lunox's way, forcing Resurgence to play a different style of game.
I mean, definitely for sure. And now Jason bringing in his Chang'e, definitely a hero which we never miss seeing. But now we're entering the second ban phase here. What do they want to get rid of? Instantly getting one of the strongest side lane. This is getting rid of the Khalid. I'm looking on the side here of EVOS SG here. They're not to say they're lacking a mage. They already have the Lunox. Wouldn't be surprised if they want to bring up a double one. But right now in this case, they need someone to follow up with them or prepare themselves to counter against a potential assassin pickup here. Yes, Resurgence can still go for a marksman, but when it's up to them or not, we'll have to see for their next first pick.
Yep, they get rid of Alice for the side of Resurgence, and on EVOS' side, they decide to get rid of Baxia. Kind of interesting, because Alice, we've seen her a couple of times, and yes, there have been changes. However, against a composition like this, it would sort of make sense. It's relatively squishy from the side of EVOS SG. Resurgence, they've shown up two people who naturally are going to be a lot tankier than your average hero. EVOS, they ban out the link. Finally, the Ruby is going to be locked in.
Oh man, I was about to say like they could have used a really great Ruby on their side here as well. But then again, Cho is still open into the pool if they really want to opt for it. But there is the existence of both Chang'e and Ruby that will literally punish the Cho as well. Or even the Joy in this case if they really want to get and try to catch any of their backlines here.
I mean, it's kind of annoying, of course, but what can you really do about it at this point? Do they want to even consider getting a tank? Yeah, no, they go for the Thomas and as well as the Valeria. They are just going all out damage. They're expecting Resurgence to be the ones making the move, and EVOS, they just have to play their own game.
Now the real question is this: does Forza want to go for his assassin, or does he want to go for the marksman here?
What assassins do you have access to? Hayabusa, Lancelot,
Helcurt? No, right?
Helcurt is doable. It's just kind of awkward if you play Helcurt.
It's just weird, right?
Yeah, it's difficult because Lunox is difficult to catch. The moment she goes into Brilliance, you can't do anything. Valir, you really have to catch Valir off guard, get the silence first, and maybe you can one-shot him. If not, he's just going to push you away. Thamos, a huge no-no. You don't want to go into that matchup. Even the Jawhead, arguably, you don't want to get ejected away. So I don't know. I would say Lancelot more than anything else. Oh, no! They're saying no. They're dedicating all their resources into the Chang'e as well as the Esmeralda.
So it's going to be, it's going to be a core. I mean, it's definitely going to be a core Esmeralda, but like literally, it's Forza will be playing the Esmeralda, and let's be honest, KTB with the Tigreal, that blue buff is not going to have fun.
Yeah,
not gonna have fun.
I'm not entirely sure how they're going to deal with this, but my guess is that they're going to have either JPL take Smart Missiles first instead of Ejector.
I mean, there's a lot of options they can go for here, right? They can either try to go for the counterplay here, or just pretty much just like use Ejector, just toss Tigreal away, and hopefully they can just shred that blue without the assist of the Smart Missile before Tigreal or KZP can come and push it away with the Sacred Hammer. We'll just have to see, I guess.
Yeah, no, because the timing is important. The timing of when they use their abilities is super, super important, and which buff and which side of the map they start on, and which buff they want to take. So I guess it's a bit of a gamble on both sides to either defend themselves or kind of delay time. But we're going into game. It's game 2 between RSG versus EVOS SG.
Woo, man, this is going to be a really exciting fight as well, because this fight will dictate whether RSG will close this game with 2-0 or EVOS making that beautiful comeback here, trying to go towards game number 3. And hopefully LY4 will be fully equipped with that bit buff he's looking for.
Yeah, but you can see EVOS is playing 1-3-1 as of right now, playing it slow, not looking to do any of their buffs in fear that they will get,
pushed away.
So it's better to get your members up to level 2 at the very least, because look at KZP. He's just chilling there and he can't really do anything. He's not giving off any pressure for his team. And since they started the buff slate, really smart idea, but look at Forza getting absolutely destroyed there by Sol. Even with the help of Sana, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. Now here got the rotation coming from the rest of the team as well. We see the rest of EVOS actually getting ready to jump on top of them should the opportunity does arise. And most importantly, Well, I love the fact that EVOS actually already read the moment and the fact that, alright, KZP with Tigreal, we know his playstyle, we know his habits, let's not do the boss, let's just go and get that first wave. That's going to be forcing KZP to be delayed in hitting that level 2 here compared to the rest of the team.
Yeah, and KZP is trying to just line this up so that he can get a good push onto Pokemon, but JPL decides to come back in. Somebody's going to get ejected here, and it looks like it's going to be nobody.
but then again, Forza will be able to steal the runaway.
No! Not like this.
Oh man, it is like this, my friend. And JPL ejected KZP, but he's gotta be careful because he doesn't want to be pulled all the way back. But still, but at the same time, really well played coming for stealing that red buff away. That really slowed things down here.
Yeah, I mean, Sol is doing a really good job. Even though he did start off level 1 pretty roughly in a 2v1 situation, he managed to get a kill back for himself and deny a red buff. So I think it's just wins all around.
Definitely for sure. By the way, Sing gonna be a little bit careful there. Quite the amount of pressure that Pokemon's currently throwing at him, and instantly, casually as well, gonna be slaying him away. But not to say the same for towards his blue buff on the side here. Resurgence, blue side as well. Forza's gonna be able to secure it with the retribution, but that is gonna be forcing the rest of the team to fall back.
Yeah, once again, teams it's not looking too good for Resurgence here. EVOS have a demanding lead so early on into this game. Resurgence, can they catch up from this? Because it only took 5k for Resurgence to beat EVOS in pretty much every single one of these team fights, even though they were difficult. However, I don't know if the same would apply this early on into the game.
Ooh, but anyway, JP going to be able to toss KTB all the way to the back line. He still has Sacred Hammer, so he's going to be able to back away. Aeon applying a lot of pressure and harass with his Fireball and Searing Torrent. Sol, on the other hand, was able to force Thunder to go all the way back. Remember, this is Thanos, one of the best sideliners as well. You cannot underestimate this hero.
Yeah, once again, Turtle will be going over to EVOS SG side as they keep control over the top side and the river. However, looking down onto the bottom, RSG looking to get some moves onto Pokemon here. It's kind of tough with the Darkening Sync. He's walked up way too far. Aeon trying to get in between them, misses both Fireballs this time. Unstoppable Force. Falsa gets pushed backwards. Searing Torrent for the win. Doesn't connect as well. Brilliance coming on through once again from Pokemon, getting a double kill off of that. KZP looking with the implosion, but it ain't gonna be enough.
Oh man, that was really close as well. It was a good implosion as well, but sadly there was no fallout for it, and Aeon leaving that fight with a lot of satisfaction, drops down his own personal emotes, and just to try to mind game the enemy.
Oh, what a good fight that was. Just overall. Just overall, and now Sol, he has complete control over this top side of the map because of what Resurgence, how many resources they dedicated down on bot side. They continue with the Mountain Chakra as well. Oh my god! Oh my goodness, he is just gone. Where did Uranus go?
Oh man, he went back to space, bro. Come on, he went back to his own planet, Uranus.
He completely destroyed Uranus there. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting that kind of damage.
Oh man, but then again, it is a Lunox, so it's a lot of damage. But anyway, Aeon getting ready to re-assist to go towards his team, because bringing out this mid-tier 1 tower will open up the map and allow EVOS to really assert even more dominance towards the side here of Resurgence here.
Yep. Once again, things have kind of slowed down, and you know, Sol is having the time of his life. Sync cannot deal with this. Sol is too strong, and he has red buff as well. So I don't know how he's going to survive this. He's even popped his consecration in hopes that he gets away. He's still regenerating. Sol can still leap on him. Once he gets the molten sights, he wins. And yeah, that's going to be the solo kill. Looking onto the other side of the map, Resurgence once again getting pushed back in their own jungle. EVOS is just such a threat right now.
As long as EVOS actually already increase and continue asserting this dominance, and EVOS SG might just be able to turn things around, because they're currently in the lead by about 8,000 gold here.
Yep, JPL going pretty deep into the backside here. RSG continuing to just hover around between their tier 1 and tier 2 turrets, but they are losing on the other aspects of the map. The gold, not in their favor. Turtles, can't even think about touching them.
Definitely for sure, and I believe it's going to be their second Turtles that's going to be secure on the side of EVOS SG. Towers, 3 in their favor too, and JPL casually just waiting He's just waiting for a beautiful opportunity as well. He has a flicker too, but he wants to ensure that flicker is going to be committed for the very right moment as well. But thank God Jason is playing the chunk inside this game. Really slow things down for EVOS SG as he was able to clear out the minions wave with the meteor shower from a safe distance.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's a really good observation because I completely forgot about that. Well, the rest of the team is looking to push on. Oh wait, hold on. Top side, RSG once again. Fosag being taken out. He is just struggling to find his footing in this game.
Oh man, but either way, Sana still in the game. He's also a really great initiator, by the way, but it's just really hard for him to initiate onto the fact that his team doesn't really have enough damage or even sustain to deal with all the damage that's coming out from EVOS SG, who is not only level advantage but items as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one because now they're gonna get greedy with this. Once you hit AK, you can see the glowing wands, immortalities coming out of JPL and Aeon itself. Rest of EVOS are just waiting, buying time until they take all the neutral objectives. They know they're ahead, and they know for a fact Resurgence ain't gonna walk up. No, not again. Oh, looks like he made it out this time. Meteor shower coming through to clear the way, but that mountain chakra is so painful.
Oh man, but honestly, this is the first time I see Lunox just constantly forcing a Uranus out of the lane multiple times. This is really, really shocking to me. But then again, I feel happy because I never liked Uranus. I know you're happy about this too.
Yeah, somewhat. Somewhat. I can't say I am the happiest of all time, but I can definitely say I'm just kind of happy.
By the way, JPL is going to be able to give quite a amount of information towards his team. Don't forget, with the Mountain Shocker as well, EVOS SG pretty much have all the Vision Warfare in their hand and currently in the lead with it as well. Now all that's left is just a beautiful initiation. Singh going to be tossed all the way back, but he has his Transcendent Ward, but the Searing Torment is going to keep him in his place for a couple of seconds. But with the Consecration, he's going to be able to regen back really quickly.
Yeah, he's not too entirely worried about this. Potato has been happily farming. Happy Camper, just farming all the way. He's level 13 to literally nobody else who can contest him. Arguably Soul, but even then, he's still 2 levels ahead of him.
He's too far behind, but once again, the lead gets even more bigger as well as the Unstoppable Force followed by the Ejector is going to be allowing Soul to easily get his killing spree as he melts down Sana. And now all that's left is just 2 members currently in the mid lane trying to defend this tier 2 tower.
Yeah, these 2 last members coming in from RSG don't stand a chance. They're getting completely zoned out from their tier 2. They need to buy some time, and that's where Singh comes in. He's down on the bottom side. He knows for a fact he could die, and used the Consecration kind of early there, but he didn't get punished for it, so that's fine. Pokemon, as well as Ishinshin, also trying to get this free kill onto Singh.
Here comes Singh, gets surrounded by Pokemon right next to his wall. He's going to hold out as long as possible. Pops down the Transcendent Ward, but not good enough in the face of Potato with those crits.
Yeah, it's just a tough situation. Oh, Falling Star Moon comes in. Can they get the implosion? They get the initial knockup, and there's the implosion, but he is still sustaining through all 3 members. His ultimate is just spell vamping all of them.
Oh man, the Festival of Blood really making quick word about it as well. So, but just love the fact that he actually just sustained that 1v3 and able to pick out 1 member out of it. That's absolutely crazy. And the best part about it, it was Jason, and Jason was needed to clear all these minion waves. So there's no way for Resurgence to literally defend from the onslaught or even the aggression coming out from EVOS SG currently.
Yeah. This is not looking the greatest of situations, but RSG once again, Pokemon, he's in trouble, but he's able to get some of that Brilliance up to get the heal, as well as the Darkness. He quickly pops that Brilliance just in time. What a fight, and what a statement they are trying to make here for the side of EVOS SG. They still have a couple of minions, and that is going to be Game 2. What a absolute banger of a game.
Dude, that was... Everyone's happy. Exactly, right? So it's just pretty much like, alright, okay, so this time, the only difference this time is they're going to be banning out the Esmeralda for themselves. Does that mean they're going to be upping the game for the Yutong, or they're just going to let it go with full confidence of the fact that Resurgence would not pick this Yutong?
I'm not entirely sure, because banning out Esmeralda in a position like this is kind of telling me that they don't want to deal with people who can steal away shields. So Harith is on the table, Uranus is on the table, Cho is on the table. Kagura arguably is on the table as well.
I'll just leave it as arguably, alright.
That one, it's compared to like the many different types of, secondary carries coming in from the mage section. Like, alright, fair enough.
Hilda?
Hilda? Alright.
I mean, I wouldn't say like it's like a direct counter for sure, but then again, if EVOS SG wants to go with that aggressive play alongside with the Jawhead, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. Yes. That would be a pretty... I mean, it's an option for sure. But again, still too many diverging paths. The general consensus is looking to kind of just not have to deal with anybody's... sorry, not to break our shields.
Yeah. But so the thing is, do they want to lock down this Uranus, or do they want to lock down this Yusushin just for good measures?
EVOS does have first pick. It feels like they've set up for... I mean, they could still go for the Khalid and then after that pick up the Uranus. Oh no, they're just going to give Yuzong away. It looks like they're opening up the gates here. So Resurgence, they could look to pick up the Uranus as well as the Khalid for themselves.
Khalid against the Yuzong's definitely not going to have the fun time. But the fact that... But it's not about the laning phase in this case. It's just more about his entire kit towards all of that in the entirety of the team fights as well. Able to get towards that back line. The disruption will be a huge nuisance as well. Ooh, but because they let the Yusushin away, Foresight is gonna lock it down for himself.
Interesting. So they would rather give a Thamos. They would rather select a Thamos rather than taking Khalid or Uranus into the Yuzong, or potentially, you know, a Yuzong Khalid coming in from EVOS SG. That's quite an interesting take for sure.
No, because then I'm only assuming the fact that this time with this lineup as well, they just want to fight as much as possible because they're already anticipating the fact that after seeing the Yuzong, they know the Jawhead will be being picked again. So they're going to go with a lineup where we're not going to go for split push or anything. We're going to ensure Foresight's going to be farming, and the four of us will be clashing, or at least trying to slow things down as well for themselves.
Then why would you go for Thamos in that case?
Because in this case, Thamos can do rarity compared to the Khalid. I mean, yeah, sure, Khalid's ultimate is a sort of like a team-based team fight skill, but it's a skill that's very easily dodged.
I suppose. I don't know. This is a bit of a tough one. I feel like it's more preference than anything else.
It's like, okay, in this case, like besides comparing between both stats between both Thamos and Khalid, right? Both is able to sustain in their own way. But I guess in this case, Thamos doesn't really get disrupted while he's sustaining because he just naturally just spell vamps with a Festival of Blood, whereas Khalid with Quick Guard can easily be disrupted by 2 people already here.
Fair. I mean, that is a pretty good point. Yeah. No, I can. Yeah. I definitely can see it from that angle too. All right. So what does that mean for EVOS SG here? Because now that the Moxia has been locked in, they're getting rid of the Veil, getting rid of the Ling, getting rid of the Valir here. EVOS SG on the other side, what do they need to actually deal with a composition like this? Because again, 2 people are going to get significantly affected by Boxia's ult, the Tortoise Poissons. The negation of healing is kind of a bummer for sure, but they still don't have something that scales.
No, honestly, if you're asking me right now, like if they just want to play very safe, like super safe right now, they can either go for the Cloud or both the carry here to really just deal with this marksman versus marksman for themselves, because just seeing the fact that there's a Yusushi and a Boxer as well, they're just gonna just turtle down, literally just turtle things down here.
Yeah, and they also get rid of the Lunox as well, so now running out of options in terms of the mages section.
Oh, there's still a Chang'e in the game.
Oh yeah, there is still Chang'e, but do they really want to play it? Especially when you have something like Yuzong here, you've got something like Jawhead, both of which are actually natural ways to actually deal with it. Ooh, instead they go for the Angela instead.
That's a really great one too.
Alright, okay.
It's really great because not only are you able to really control in the majority inside that team fight, you're able to allow Yusushi or anyone in the team to really just sustain and survive for as long as possible here.
I feel like this is almost a perfect game for EVOS to actually bring out the Eudora. The Eudora and then pair it up with like a Harith or something like that.
Actually, you're not wrong. They can actually just go for it right now if they want to, actually.
They decided to go for the carry, that's fine, but also the Eudora. Alright, so I was wrong about which hyper carry it is, but at least I got the Eudora on lock.
Yeah, you got the Eudora, I got the carry, you know, so it's like heart shapes. Can you fill out my other heart there?
No, stop it. Stop it, Leonard. Stop it, Leonard.
We're 2 sides of the same coin.
Stop showing your fingers at me. Nobody can see this.
Yes, they can. LaFell sees it.
Oh, but now it comes to the last pick coming in for Resurgence to kind of just figure out their composition here.
They need a jungler. Or in this case, not a controller, but in this case, they're going to go with the Ruby, which I think is really great.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be such a weird game.
This is literally, okay, I'm looking at like a straight up either a very hardcore mid game or just like an epic
Game is not gonna go as well as most people think it's gonna go.
It's not gonna go, yes. It's not gonna go as well as you guys think.
Yeah, because again, Angela is gonna be able to keep Ishin alive for a lot longer, but the amount of CC coming in, especially like, it's a tough sell. It's a really tough sell.
Like if we're comparing late game, I'm already assuming like freaking Uranus is gonna be split pushing towards that late game the entire time or cutting creep waves, never dying, never ending. The other team is just gonna be trying to sustain and keep Foresight as alive as possible. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 3, the last game between both of these amazing titans. They have been showing us an amazing performance, phenomenal performance by far. Who's gonna be taking the top spot here, going to the semi-finals against Toda? Please comment down in the comment section below. Our Facebook social media tag is going to be at MPL_MYSG, and our Instagram tag is going to be at MPL.MYSG.official. You also can check us out on EGG Network and Astro Arena for all of your MLBB action. And of course, do give us some love and support for the BM stream side, because Iketo and Karakuri has been doing a really great job as well.
Yeah, they really have been. And now, I mean, this game has been is going to be taking some time here, but EVOS SG, I feel after you were doing your read, I was giving some real thought into this.
Yeah.
Their early game is significantly stronger.
Yes.
Significantly. Just with Jawhead alone, this is going to put RSG in a rather weird spot, because they're hoping that Thamus is going to be able to hold the lane by himself. If he crumbles, this game is going to be a huge problem for them.
Then that's why, no, the thing is, I wanted to mention that with the Jawhead, they have really great strengths in that early game. But then after that, I think about it, I'm like, wait, you have Uranus, you have the rest of the team as well. Then it's very difficult for you to really get a hold of who you want to really jump for, because remember, you jump on any of the heroes as well. They control you, they lock you down, and that's pretty much the end of you. They don't really have as much early burst as we were all really hoping for. I mean, yes, you have the Dragon Tail and everything else, but that's if you're all really sticking up for it.
Yeah. No, I think at this point in time, it just comes down to like, what can you do? Like, how do you affect the side lanes, right? Because you're going to be looking to fight for control in the mid side. You already have the Eudora for the most part of it. Don't worry, we're not done with the BM side. We're just showing that it does exist and then come back to us.
Yeah.
And
beautiful people, by the way.
Beautiful people. Angela can hold her own, like especially in one of the side lanes.
Correct.
And it feels weird to send her back into the mid lane to kind of fight for that mid lane control, because she can really just kind of just sit there in the side. But then it gives EVOS a bunch of options. It's either I'm going to be looking to punish either Thamos or Angela, one or the other pre-level 4.
No, that means in this case, JPL playstyle will be trying to deny any of the opposing buff, RSG buff in this case, or will he just be camping towards the top side? Because we saw is that in the second game, I believe, he was actually just camping in that side bush the entire time.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's the thing, where it's like you're trying to affect the side laners matchup as much as you can, and we're talking about a Yuzong into potentially a Thamos, not the greatest of matchups, and I'm assuming that, Sol is going to be able to land all of his abilities, so even a simple gank of just walking up, smart misling him and losing at least a quarter of his life will put him in a favorable position.
No, that's the thing, right? I'm just trying to predict it. Okay, we saw a Baxi on the side here of RSG as well, right?
Yes.
So now, just thinking about it as well, is it going to be a KGP Baxi or not?
Probably.
If it's KCP Boxer, that means I'm already assuming that he might just potentially just camp the same brush, or okay, not the same brush, a different brush, but for the same lane. Same goes for JPL. Like, they're both going to be able to really support that lane, because literally, whether it's that matchup between Yuzong and Thamos really dictates on who's going to be able to dominate that lane for sure.
Ah, man, I don't know.
It's hard to tell, right?
Yeah, it's really hard to tell because EVOS has a lot of different ways to kind of attack RSG's composition on the map itself. It's kind of the direction they need to go with. But at the end of the day, one of these side lanes is going to get punished. Yeah. And I think there's no going around that. And I'm thinking if there are any other nuances that are important, like whether buff takes are going to be important for either one of these. And I don't think so, at the very least, because they can still do the blade buff if they wanted to. Is there anything else that I'm missing? I feel like I'm missing something here.
No, you're not missing anything at all, because I'm like scratching my head all over the place, and I'm also thinking the fact that they could have at least went for something else, but there's this game 3, this drafting in particular is just pretty much like after the first two picks their heroes, right? It's pretty much just counter picking after that, because literally the reason why they last picked the box here after the first pick phase, that third hero, was mainly not only just to ensure that Thamos doesn't really get countered, but also to counter out that Uranus at the same time. So I'm pretty sure KCP, in this case, he was just like, Yeah, I know, I'll help you out. I won't pick what I'm comfortable with, but like, I'll just help you out, that kind of thing.
I'm just gonna be there.
Yeah, because I already can see KZB's reaction. He's like, yeah, he counters you. But if I pick him, I also counter them. Yeah, it works. I'll pick it.
All right, looks like it's time for us to get into game. Talk about perfect timing here as we go over to the third game to determine who is going to be staying in the upper brackets and who is going down to the lower.
Oh man, it's gonna be a really epic battle as well because this is the last game. I feel like we're casting the grand finals as it is, but and it's only the second game or the second match of Dynamo one of the players. But either way, seeing the matchup, KZP is gonna be babysitting Forza inside his middle lane. Potato gonna be alongside with Aeon, and our dear friend Jason gonna be roaming around with that Angela. And I just love the fact that JPL is actually just going to be sitting inside that jungle.
Oh, this is good. This is good. Ah, they didn't get the Litho Wanderer, unfortunately. Potato was able to smite that just in time. But yeah, once again, the matchups are seemingly... Oh, that was close. Nearly stealing that as well. But okay, great pathing from EVOS. They made sure they're at 100% efficiency. Sana trying to get some information on where everybody is exactly. Aeon still level 1.
I mean, yeah, definitely for sure. But at the same time, love what JPL was actually doing as well, because fully understanding the fact that Jawhead, it can be a really great jungler as well with the smart missile. So what he did was he actually just did a lot, significant amount, like bring down the HP of that red buff. So at least this way, it just saves a lot of time for Potato. All he has to do is just take the red, finish it off, and go back to the other buffs or go to this lane. This is going to be allowing him to spike that level a little bit more faster compared to usual. But Pokemon taking a lot of much damage as he gets gone on the top. Here comes the pump on the street coming out for Jason. But then again, he has the Dragon and it's passive. So he's able to sustain for quite a while. Force Blood is going to be drawn and taken away by Resurgence, but JPL looking to try to trade things off, but with the Molten Size and the Shield of Spirit, he's going to slow it down, and with the Molten Shocker, he's going to be able to follow up with the rest of the team and secure another kill for Resurgence.
They just forgot about the Mountain Shocker. They were forgetting about the timings of when Fossa was going to hit level 4, and unfortunately, that's going to bite them right in the back. Pokemon, he walked up a little too far. Like, the angle of which he went in, not exactly the smartest as well. However, he got punished, but the rest of his team were focusing more on getting the buffs rather than continuing the fight, because if it did break out to a full-on fight, I don't necessarily think they could have won there. So, well played coming in from RSG.
Really well played indeed. At the same time, going back to the bottom lane, try to cut down this big man Soul all the way down using I'm Offended, but then again, Soul's going to be able to pop up the concentration and just nicely out of the range, we'll be able to break down that attachment coming from the puppet on the string.
Yep. Mountain Shocker coming out once again. Sink has got to get a good push, but look at the mid lane here. KZP, ooh, in trouble. Even drops down the Turquoise Poisons just in case.
And he, at the same time, he has to be really careful as well, because remember, this is carry. Ooh, that, I love that snipe. It almost denied that TP, literally slowing things down, buying even more time, but unfortunately, he would not be able to connect here.
Yep. They're just playing their time here. Once again, the neutral objectives are back up. RSG already on top of Turtle here, and EVOS, they're not contesting. They're looking to go down towards the bottom side to try and punish the one person who has a global ultimate, and that's going to be Angela. And now Jason, he's on the run. He realizes what's going on. He gets stunned and instantly popped by Aeon this time round. Nicely done from EVOS, but they trade a Turtle for Jason's life.
Potentially maybe might be more as well, because with the Mountain Shocker, beautiful amount of vision given as well. And Sally Pokemon definitely not having a fun time against the damage inside this top lane, and Sana already coming into the countering. Inferno is going to be able to burn Pokemon out of the lane here. Definitely not chase him out, but now Pokemon just has to fall back.
Yep. Some really good zoning coming in from Zana here. He's a level up. There's nothing much that Pokemon can do. And now KZP, he's running in hard with Angela on his back. They can't seem to go any further than this. Sync as well. It's a 3v4 situation, but no one's really getting as much damage as they want to in. EVOS just say, you know what? This ain't worth it. This ain't worth our time. Let's look for another fight elsewhere.
Definitely for sure. And now Singh gonna be going back to this 1v1 against Soul. Soul's gotta be a little bit more careful as well. But here comes Don't Run Away, Wolf King as well, and Be Good. Gonna be doing quite a significant amount of damage. But remember, this is Uranus. He hasn't even popped. He even has to even pop the Consecration, and he's still able to regen back naturally. Singh, no choice, popping out the heal regen, gonna be able to heal up, and Forza coming into the Mountain Shocker just to give a little bit of information towards his whole team.
Yeah, Singh just tried to go for the I'm Offended into Flicker combination to kind of get that good old yank. Oh, no! Jason, unfortunately, getting one shot once again by all three members coming in with EVOS and SG in the mid lane, but they break bottom tier 1. Oh, mid tier 1 wasn't destroyed. KZP was able to kind of clear off the last few minions.
Dude, it's really well played stuff, right? With the line of composition that Researcher really comes to the game, at least in this way, they're able to clash back and forth. But EVOS SG able to retaliate back, fully understanding the fact that, sure, I was not able to back up Pokemon in that side lanes, but at least we'll be able to punish down Jason, who cannot able to escape with that global. But here comes the global coming in for the Angela with the hard gun. But sadly, the hard gun's not going to be enough. And this might be a potential 1-for-2 because KZP is able to roll into the mix here to re-assist Jason.
Oh, that is rough. That is very rough. You can see that he's just desperately just tapping the love taps like in the hopes that he would survive. Turtle now taken away by RSG side. Looks like this game is going to be a lot more even than we would have expected it to be.
I mean, definitely for sure, because every time, remember, EVOS SG is only bursting down Jason because Jason has the only one with the global presence. And remember, he cannot really escape at all. And Resurgent, on the other hand, our dear friend Forza, with the usage, he's going to be able to farm out as much as possible.
Yep, KZP taking way too much damage here, but the Revitalize buys him just enough time to take full rotations of spells. Sync now in trouble, goes down over to Yusong as Fossa once again has to drop down that mountain trucker. They're hoping, but he gets ejected backwards. EVOS SG can't seem to get the angle in this area. There's nothing they can do there. Forced to back away. Jason once more, if he gets caught by any form of CC, he is goner.
Doing really well played. EVOS SG applying even more aggression. The best part about it, they still have the soul, just Consecration did pop up, followed by the Unstoppable Force as well, but Sally Sana trading things out, melting down the Eudora. Here comes the ejector, but he already pops up the ultimate, burning him down. The hard guard maintaining him, Pokemon popping out the Black Dragon Transformer just in the nick of time, allowing him to just escape from that perilous situation.
Yep, they're jumping in pretty hard. Jason, all three members are on top of Potato, and there goes their carry. Now, starting off with a perfect score of 3-0 and 2, now 3-1 and 2. Well done for RSG. Looking to fight back. This is looking more like game 1.
Now it's looking a little bit more clean here. But ooh, here comes Amofena. He pulls Soul all the way under the tower. It doesn't matter if you have Consecration. You're going to be blasted down to heaven, baby.
Nicely done. Nicely done. RSG kicking in it hard, but JPL, Pokemon, and Aeon are looking to rotate to make something happen here. Aeon, he's got to be careful. Oh, he quickly flickers out of the way. Mid-tier 1 is going to be going down here, and RSG will take the lead in terms of gold.
Dude, I love it. Trades happening all across the map. If one person gets picked off, each of his team will ensure they get that equivalent trade. And JPL still trying to find that opening, find Sing, but that's not what he wants to really go for. But unfortunately, Forza enters the bush, and he has lost sight of his main target. Coming down, Unstoppable Force, Marcella is not going to be enough, as our dear friend Sing pulls him all the way back as he was offended with JPL's engagement.
Yep, that's going to be a 1-for-0 trade, but Pokemon on the back line. He's trying to get Fossa. He's pulling Fossa around. Soul, he sees an opportunity, but now they need to ensure they get the most bang for buck, and they secure the kill onto Ruby. But look on the top side, nobody has stopped Sana from pushing it all the way in, forcing JPL to respond. Now the tides are sort of evening it out, and they're playing it slow and steady to ensure they get maximum damage, but that's going to be Jason going down over to Soul off of a single CC coming in from Aeon.
Really well played, but then again, at the same time, Resurgent was, or Jason in this case, was totally fine giving him his life for it as well, because because he already did his job, he already committed his ultimate, committed a majority of his spells, he just needs to ensure that the main core members or main damage dealers will be able to maintain and stay alive as long as possible.
Yeah, and I mean, what initially was, I was thinking that Resurgence was going to start snowballing off of that one effect. It looks like EVOS is willing to fight just as hard. It's 23.3k to 23.6k, only a 0.3k difference, and that's considering how many towers they've lost, that's not too bad.
It's not too bad at all, but then again, Sana gonna be really careful as well because he's currently alone, but the rest of the team is just trying to back him up. I love JPL. He's trying to hold down the line as long as possible, trying to delay their rotation to see if they're able to save his teammate, and as the rest of the team will slowly disengage and fall back.
Yeah. They're going to be pushed in here. Soul versus Sync once again, but Sync knows he's getting close, but he's pretty sure that his ult is going to come back up soon, and that just means that she just has to buy her time. EVOS looking to trying to fight into mid-river here. RSG playing it slow. KZP looking to hold his ground, but Sync, he's still in trouble. Potato should be able to pick up this kill on top of him. Is he gonna get it yet? The Tachi's still surviving with all that spell vamp. Wow.
That's Ruby for you as well. Just constantly just healing, regenerating, and spell vamping all the way. But remember, what's really amazing, what Soul was actually doing inside this game, fully understanding the fact that he is a Uranus, constantly going for the split push, but he's pressuring the lanes, ensuring that forcing one member of Resurgence to actually rotate down to fight him off. And what happens is going to be Sing, because Sing knows he's the only one that can not only try to do damage, but actually contest against Soul head-on 1v1.
I wouldn't even say it's just that. I would also say, I don't have the right words for it right now, because when we're talking about mind games here from both sides and both different angles from either team here, ideally you don't want to lose somebody, and ideally you want to be able to get that side lane pressure. But I think in Soul's mind here, his team isn't necessarily strong enough until he gets Potato in a comfortable position. So they're waiting for him to get to that point. They've got the Endless Battle as well as the Golden Snap, so he's going to continue to relieve pressure until they absolutely need him.
Just really well placed, but then again, Law, Mountain Shocker is going to be able to reveal that the Law is currently being taken a halfway ticket as well. Pokemon going to be committing that Black Dragon as well, and Soul coming in straight from the backline, so instantly jumps on top of Forza. Forza no way to escape as well. Unstoppable Force coming in from JPL as well. Forza, no choice but to run away, but then sadly, Soul still has his flicker, and with the Ionic Edge, he will pick Forza off instantly. Sana trying his best to pick up AR, will get the kill for himself, but JBL with the smart missile will literally bombard him down to the ground. And Jason, all alone, will have to force himself to retreat. Hopefully he can run away, but not in the face of Soul, as he ensures that you will never get out of this fight alive.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that was definitely a very interesting fight there, because, I mean, the fact that Resurgence was so spread out like that and they could easily isolate their targets just made them so easy to pick off for the side of EVOS SG. And now, after the first member went down, it just all came crashing down on top of them. EVOS, they're going to be able to get this Lord here. Oh boy, this is going to be it. Let's see whether or not RSG can win this next 50-50.
And it's going to be really close as well. Pokemon's going to be able to pick up the Oracle. But what's really amazing, especially before that fight, prior towards that fight as well, we saw Soul pushing out that top lane and slowly rotated down towards his fight, but he ensured that at least in this way, he's still able to get towards his back line. And that's what really amazing, as he was able to get on top of both Jason and Forza at the same time.
Okay, so what's the next? Oh, wait, hold on. They actually get pulled. I'm offended over the wall. JPL now in trouble. Can't seem to get up. He does open the injector into Unstoppable Force, but Sana, he's right in the middle of the fight. Can they finish him off? No, they cannot. The love taps. He's coming in with the Black Dragon form. Sana, he hops out of the way, and now they're turning their targets onto Sync. He's in trouble. He goes down, and Soul, he's running away to make sure he's not caught on the puppet of the string, but Forza can only do so much as Pokemon going head deep into enemy territory, even under the inhibitor.
Oh, so much damage coming from Aeon as well. But look at it, all three lanes. Big hit so hard, and the top inhibitor will eventually fall into the hands of EVOS SG. The mid and the bottom not too long after, because the Lord is finally here and is clashing and hitting that inhibitor really hard.
Yeah, and now can they finish it off? They can. It looks like this might be it. RSG, one last time. They've got to protect it. Sync is coming back up to life. They should be able to get Lord with no issues whatsoever. But EVOS, they want it. They found their target. They picked him off, and there goes Sana, their biggest member on their side. Forza now has to try his very best, but he doesn't have the items to clear them off. They're pushing on through. They're trying their best. They're trying to delay it, but it isn't enough. The minions will take this game. And there you have it. It's going to be EVOS